Good afternoon, everyone. As America continues to battle the coronavirus pandemic, we want to welcome you to our special 12 News coverage of a military flyover that will honor Arizona's frontline coronavirus workers, people who have literally put their lives on the line to help fight the pandemic. Most of us will never get to know these doctors and nurses and other medical professionals who have been putting their own health at risk to stand strong against COVID-19. This is a phenomenal gesture also by our military today. Pilots from both Luke Air Force Base and the Arizona Air National Guard are headed to the skies for an event that, if you're watching us online today, or if you step outside in your front or your backyard, that I am sure will leave a lasting impression. It's expected to last for about an hour, and here's what you can expect. Some of the most familiar military aircraft in Arizona will be part of the Friday flyover. The formation of 15 aircraft will include F-35s and F-16s from Luke Air Force Base and an air tanker from the Arizona Air National Guard. The jets will start their flyover near the White Tank Mountains. Then they fly to Buckeye and then over to the Loop 303 in the West Valley. From there, it's over to Sun City Grand, and then the formation heads southeast to Litchfield Park, and then east over to Tolleson towards downtown Phoenix, and then towards Tempe. From Tempe, they go on to the Southeast Valley, where they'll fly over Chandler, Gilbert, and Mesa. A few minutes later, they'll be over Scottsdale, and then they head west all the way to I-17, and then it's back northeast to North Scottsdale, where they'll turn west and follow the Loop 101 for a while before they head south and back towards downtown Glendale, and then northwest to Surprise, and finally back to Luke. The whole flyover will likely take about 50 minutes. What a sight. And of course, this is something we saw on the East Coast in New York and Philadelphia and parts of New Jersey earlier this week, and now it's coming here to Arizona. These are live pictures from Sky 12 right now. We have the bird up to catch as much of the flyover as it can as we try to bring you this phenomenal event. It's expected, as you just heard, to hit most parts of the valley. And if you're watching, we will try to give you a heads up as to where the aircraft are. So if you want to step outside and look up, you'll be able to see them in person, or you can stay in the comfort of your home. We know it's a hot day out there, and just watch us online here. And we have our crews at Valley Hospitals to see and hear their reaction to the flyover. After all, this is for them, the frontline workers against the coronavirus. Team 12's Tram Mai is live for us at Valleywise Health at 24th Street and Roosevelt in Phoenix. And William Pitts is live at Arrowhead Medical Center in the West Valley at 67th Avenue in Union Hills. But let's start with Tram. And Tram, look, you know, we have our heroes in the skies that are up putting on this tremendous display of military power, thanking the folks on the ground who wear masks. And in both cases, I think we're seeing some of America's strongest and bravest, both in the air and on the ground today.
Yeah, you said it right there, Mark. I can tell you there is so much excitement and nerves right here in downtown Phoenix. You know, across the nation, as you were just saying, this is one of just many America Strong flyovers that's happening. And today is our day right here in the Valley. And you want to know why? This is why right here. I want you to take a good look at each and every single person here at Valleywise. They showed up out in front of the hospital, just showing obviously their support, their hard work. These are the people, the men and women, the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare professionals fighting on the front lines for our lives, for people who are fighting this pandemic with every strength in their body. And I want you to meet this individual here. This is Steve Purvis. He is the president and CEO of Valleywise. It is so great to have you, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out today. We appreciate it.
Okay, I saw you giving a little pep talk to your team here. What were you saying?
I just was telling them that what a great day this is, that the Air National Guard and Luke Air Force Base, our men and women in uniform, are taking their time today to show a very significant effort to express appreciation to our healthcare workers, and that there is no way for us to properly and to adequately thank those of us here at Valleywise Health that are on the front lines taking care of this coronavirus and keeping people safe. They do amazing, incredible things every day. And so just like the Air National Guard and Luke Air Force Base and the Air Force, is paying tribute to our healthcare workers today, we're paying tribute to them because they're standing guard over our nation 365 days a year. And so it's very much a mutual admiration society today.
And this is very personal for you, too. I mean, this hits close to your heart as an honorary commander, right?
Well, absolutely. You know, we can't do enough to support our men and women in uniform, and certainly those of us in healthcare. There are many people at Valleywise Health who are either serving or have served. And so it's definitely a mutual respect that we have and a kindred spirit, actually. So, yes, it is personal. It's personal for a lot of our folks. And it's a great day today, and we appreciate this very much.
I see everyone kind of gathering towards the middle area of the street here because we see them out in the distance. Mike, if you could get a shot of them, there they are, right there, the best of Luke Air Force Base. Let's see if we can hear it.
See that KC-135 in the front. They're going to fly right over our hospital. Here they come. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. All right, that was just gives you chills. It really does. What a show of support. Everybody here appreciates them so very much.
It's so great. And what do you think? You're one of the nurses here, too.
Yes, absolutely. I'm the nurse for dialysis. I'm the manager. I'm extremely proud of our people, our frontline heroes, the superheroes, and mostly our army in our state, doing an amazing job flattening the curve. Let's keep that job going.
Laura, we can't thank you enough. And
I'm
we have
Monica.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you very much. This is just what a wonderful day today, you know. So this is an honor to be out here and to be part of this.
We support all of you, and from the bottom of our hearts, we cannot thank you enough for what you do. Thank you so much. All right, Mark.
Thank you guys too. You guys been working.
Thank you. Ah, just chills out here. That was so spectacular to see and be a part of.
Tram, I've got goosebumps. I wasn't even out there, and I've got goosebumps. I envy your vantage point because this is a truly and uniquely American moment to look up in the sky and see this military might as a show of thanks to another group of heroes on the ground who've been at the forefront of this coronavirus battle. And just look at some of these pictures right now from Sky 12, that big KC-135 tanker leading this pack, all of the F-35s from Luke and the F-16s from Luke, the KC-135 from the Arizona Air National Guard, which took off from Sky Harbor, and they all joined forces and hooked up in their formation over the white tanks and now are flying this route, which we showed you just a few minutes ago, to all parts of the valley. And at a time when, despite our divisions, our political divisions in this country, we can all join forces and say that for right now, for this moment, maybe we can put aside our differences and just be proud of who we are as Americans. It's a great moment. It's a great sight. And, you know, I can't say enough for our men and women in the air today and who fueled these planes and got them up in the air, are flying them, and for all of our men and women on the ground who are fighting a different war at this time. So, so special, so amazing. We want to go out to Team 12's Will Pitts, who's live out at Arrowhead Medical Center in the Northwest Valley. And Will, I'm not sure if you guys have had sight of those that tremendous show of military force as a way of saying thanks to medical workers yet.
No, actually not yet. We haven't heard anything either, but I know that we're probably one of the last spots that they're going to hit. We are at Abrazo Arrowhead, and that's going to be after the turn from the 101 when they head south right before they head back up towards Surprise and come down this way. But you can see all of these healthcare workers that have gathered on the helipad with a sign that says "Heroes Work Here," and a good 6 feet social distance away is Krista Bauer, also a nurse here. And Krista, what does this mean to you to have something like this happen, this flyover that's coming right over this hospital?
It's amazing. It's amazing to have the support and show the support to our staff here that's working really hard during this time. And it's just nice to bring the community together to do something like this.
What's it been like here the last month or so with all of this happening? And you guys, I'm sure, are working nonstop in there.
It's been difficult at times, but it's also a great lesson in teamwork and working together with the nurses. Every division of the hospitals had to work really close together for these COVID patients. So it's been a good lesson in teamwork.
Did you ever think that you would ever end up in a situation like this?
No. Never.
How are you guys handling it then?
We've got a good incident command station that's taken good care of us, and we've been really lucky in that we've had every level of the hospital has been really helping out, from our materials management and our housekeeping, our nurses, our doctors. We've just really all worked together and pulled together to make sure that we're doing the best care for these patients.
I think the great part about this is showing some appreciation and some gratitude for the job you guys have been doing, which really is, for a long period of time, kind of a thankless job, right?
It can be, yes. Absolutely. And we're a small community hospital, so a lot of us have been here for quite a while. So it's nice to have the kind of recognition from the firefighters and the police officers that have been out here, and now with the flyover, and a lot of the community restaurants have been donating so much to us. So it's just been really nice.
And you get a little break. You get to come outside, get some fresh air. See the flyover,
yeah.
and all of that.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Krista. We appreciate it. And of course, you can see this is a very large group of nurses and healthcare workers that are all out there on the helipad. Of course, you see the sign that says "Heroes Work Here," and that is the entire point behind this flyover, is to pay tribute and thanks to all of the heroes in healthcare that have been working nonstop trying to handle this crisis out here at hospitals just like this one, Abrazo Arrowhead, guys.
Okay, Will, thank you so much. If you're watching right now from South Scottsdale near the Old Town area, go outside and look up, and you will see this aircraft formation, this incredible formation, flying over downtown Scottsdale right now. From downtown Scottsdale, they will head uptown Phoenix, and then to North Phoenix, North Scottsdale, Deer Valley, downtown Glendale, eventually making their way back to Luke Air Force Base. And if you've never been to an air show, this is your chance to look at some of these incredible aircraft. Some of America's greatest up there. The F-16, nicknamed the Fighting Falcon. The F-35 is called the Lightning. The KC-135, that big plane you see up front, that's the refueling plane that actually would refuel these jets during either training runs or in a theater of war. And they're all so special and so incredible. And hopefully, in a small way, this can repay the tremendous hours of work and the sacrifice that the men and women in the medical profession have been making since the coronavirus first started hitting America's shores. And we've lost too many people in this country. We've had so many funerals. And hopefully we're getting through the worst of this, and we will triumph over this. And America, when it pulls together, whether it's after an event like 9/11 or something like the coronavirus, we have a great capacity to unify and for unification. So these are, again, our live pictures from Sky 12, and sometimes, as you're seeing here, it will break up because that's what happens on live TV. But we want to bring you these pictures as long as we can as it flies now over north central Phoenix. Remember, they're clipping along pretty good, so if you watch the bottom of your screen, you'll be able to tell exactly where they are. Sky Harbor back behind these planes, and just think about the skill that it takes to fly in a formation at this kind of a speed. And they're not even going, I would guess, top military speed, because the KC-135 wouldn't be able to keep up with them if the fighters and the F-35 and the F-16s really were to put that throttle back. They'd be long gone. But they're flying in formation so they can stay with that KC-135. And again, what a sight, and it will hit most parts of the valley today. After north central Phoenix, they'll head up to North Scottsdale, and then they'll go down the 101 in the Deer Valley area towards downtown Glendale, Peoria, Surprise, El Mirage, and back to Luke. They took off about 14 minutes ago from Luke Air Force Base and from Sky Harbor, where the Arizona Air National Guard is stationed. And of course, if you don't know, Luke Air Force Base, if you're new to the valley, is out in the Litchfield Park area in the far west valley, and they converged at the White Tank Mountains, formed up this formation you're looking at right now, and now they're saying thanks to all of our medical workers on the ground who've done such a phenomenal job in keeping the death count as low as possible, and to help people recover from this. And of course, we know that a major testing program will begin all across the state of Arizona tomorrow. Yesterday, Governor Ducey extended the stay-at-home order until May 15th. Some retail stores will be able to slowly start reopening on Monday, but that will be by appointment only with curbside pickup and delivery only. So things aren't quite getting ready to get back to normal. There's been some pushback against that here in Arizona and nationally across the country. But in the end, it's about keeping our people safe. All right, let's go back to Tram. Tram is standing by for us in the east side of town, over near 24th Street in Roosevelt, and she has more with some of our frontline medical workers.
Hey, Mark, you know what? We just got distracted a little bit because we've got some cars right alongside the street who are honking, showing their support for all these wonderful healthcare heroes. A lot of them have gone back to work. And in fact, we just saw the fighter jets kind of make a U-turn as they went down kind of south, and then they flew back over way out over there as they make their way up north. So that was really cool. But right now we've got Dr. White joining us here. Dr. White, first of all, I got to thank you so much for what you do, for what your staff does, day in, day out, endless hours. We cannot thank you enough for what you do. What was that like to see that huge, strong, powerful show of support from our Air Force?
So it's been wonderful. It's really been, just invigorating to the entire team to have all of the community support. And we just with this wonderful display with the armed forces, as you can see, we placed, messages from our team to them, knowing that we're all in this together. They're here for us every day of the week. It's our turn that we're now here for everybody around the community. And to have all of the support with everyone has been absolutely phenomenal.
I can't even imagine how overwhelming that must be. What has the past, at least month, been like for you?
It's certainly been a roller coaster. We've had heightened emotions here, but everyone has really dug in to understand why we're here. Why we're called into healthcare as healthcare professionals is really to be here to serve those that really need us when they're ill. And to a person, all of this team has done wonderful to stand up. We see the highs of people being able to go home. We see the lows as people come in very, very ill that we're worried about, as we're able to hopefully help them get better and through these illnesses.
It's interesting. I was thinking the other day that, you guys have always been here, doctors, nurses, saving people's lives. I like to refer to you guys as miracle workers, okay? And a lot of times when we think of heroes, we often, allude to first responders like our police officers and our firefighters. And now the spotlight has really, really been shining brightly on the healthcare industry and the workers behind it, in addition to our firefighters and our EMTs and our medics and police officers. What has that been like?
It's been wonderful, really, to understand that, we all play a role in this. Our first responders are there. They're the ones that are in the communities, working with everybody, identifying those that are ill, recognizing the fact that people need just a little bit higher, more sophisticated care to bring them into one of the healthcare delivery organizations to be able then to, help these individuals even further along to help them get better. It's really truly all of the same team, utilizing people's skills to their highest.
Emotionally, I don't know how you guys do it, on top of physically, obviously. But obviously, I'm sure you've seen a lot of sadness and sorrow along the way of this pandemic. But tell me about the light. Tell me about the hope that just keeps you doing what you do and just brings that, even more sense of gratitude and reward.
I think everybody, again, that enters into healthcare is really called to want to be able to be there at the time of need for somebody that's ill. And through this COVID-19 disease pandemic, we have really seen people, raised to that calling, and while they're here. Yes, we have all experienced the stress. We've all experienced the sorrow, but we've also all seen the joy. We've celebrated, being able to see people that have come in critically ill, be able to walk out this front door and be able to go home, be back with their families is through that. We certainly had trying times and are doing new things. Hard to have people that we can't have visit in the hospital, but how do we do that? Through FaceTime, through Skype. We've been doing all of these things and learning new things as we go through this, which has truly been rewarding for all of us.
And that's such a good point. I mean, for everybody, it's been such a learning experience, doing things for the first time that you've never done before. What has been the most surprising thing for you?
I think the most surprising thing really has been the support and the ingenuity of our team that's been able to really adapt. We see a little bit, okay, this is the next challenge. How are we going to get through this? How are we going to adapt the way we used to deliver healthcare to this new ways? And how are we going to accommodate to make sure, we're encompassing the patient, their families, and the entire team in this journey to make sure everyone is aware of what's going on.
Finally, what's your message to everybody out there who have just really shown so much love and support for all of you, for everyone in the healthcare industry?
It's certainly our message is thank you. We know we are here for you, but you have been here for us. You have done the things that we have asked as healthcare communities around social distancing. We know it's been tough to be stay at home, to stay connected, as all of our political leaders have instructed us to do. We know that's been tough, but really that has helped us avoid some of these large surges to overwhelm the system, to really be able to deliver that care that we need to without overtaxing our resources. So that's my message back is thank you for doing your part, because that's helped us be able to do our part.
Dr. White, we cannot thank you enough. Thank you for your time, for what you do, saving lives, and all your work. It definitely is so appreciated. All right, Mark. I mean, it's story after story. You meet all these individuals out here who just obviously love and are passionate about what they do. And, that's really the light in this dark time right now. And it's just, it's people like Dr. White. It's people like these nurses and Steve Purvis, who's standing right next to me waiting to be interviewed. I mean, it's people like them that are just doing great things.
That is so well put, Tram. It is the light, and it's the willingness to serve our country, whether it's going into battle on foreign soil or in emergency rooms and COVID wards across the country, and of course here in Arizona. Right now you see the F-35s and F-16s and that KC-135, the big plane up front, the refueling plane. They're making their way over Glendale, and from Glendale they will make their way to Peoria, Surprise, El Mirage before finishing up and heading back to Luke. Let's go to Will Pitts, who is standing by in the West Valley. Hey, Will.
Hey guys, yeah, they flew over here just a few minutes ago, and that was easily one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Omar Pineda, COO of the hospital, Abrazo Arrowhead, here is here with us. What were you thinking when they flew right over here? This was nuts.
No, that was pretty amazing. So to see that many jets in line and in formation for us, I think that was amazing.
What does it mean to your crew that was standing out here waiting for the flyby to come over?
I think it's super. I mean, I think there's been this excitement about it since they announced it. So everybody wanted to be outside to see it. Just that show of support was huge for us. So I think that's really, really impressive.
We were kind of talking about this just a little bit ago, but we don't want to say this is a thankless job, but at the same time, there's a little bit more awareness of what all of these healthcare workers actually do and how much work they do now.
Yeah, and it's a little different now. We have a lot more awareness of what we do on a daily basis. These guys kind of put on their boots and pull them up every day. So we appreciate all the appreciation that we're getting from the military and all of our providers that work around us in the community as well.
How's everybody been handling it? Because it has to be stressful to be in here day after day knowing what's going on outside the doors.
I think everyone's handled it extremely well, and we've been really good about communicating with our staff and making sure that there's lines of communication that are open for them to ask questions, and we've had a really, really high level of support from our mother company and everyone else. So it's been pretty impressive to be able to share that and be transparent.
And the good news is we haven't seen that rush of patients, that critical over population that we thought we might see.
Yeah, we were all preparing and we were ready. If we were ready for the surge that we had predicted, and it still hasn't come as of now, knocking wood on that one. But we're definitely prepared, and that was one of the things we wanted to be able to handle if there was a huge influx. But you're right, it's been incremental. But we're happy that it's not been a big rush.
Now, your staff was sitting on the helipad just a minute ago with the sign that says "Heroes Work Here."
Yes.
What did you think when you saw that and then all the planes behind them, and that's what they've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's been cool. I mean, seeing between our heroes in the sky and these guys, it's been super impressive to see them kind of not necessarily working hand in hand, but having the same mission. It's kind of cool.
Well, we're told there's a possibility that we might get another little flyover on the other side as they circle kind of back around, go up through Surprise, and then kind of come back this way toward the base. So hopefully we might get another little flyby here just in a little bit, guys. But that was easily one of the coolest things I've ever seen in the back of this hospital, Mark.
Well, I am sure that these medical workers, you talk about the KC-135 being the refueling plane for all of the fighter jets that are up there. Maybe in some way this formation today is a refueling for all of our medical workers. Just a little show of support and thanks that they are not forgotten, and they're so appreciated by all of us who are hopefully healthy and well. And again, right now they are...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it takes a lot to...
Go ahead, Will.
I was just going to say, it does take a lot out of you to be able to do this job and to do it nonstop almost. It's a very long shift. It's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of mental strain. It's a lot of physical strain for a lot of these healthcare workers. And yeah, they do need, that show of support. They do need that refueling, as you said, to kind of keep going and know that this is not just an endless grind for them, that they are appreciated outside the hospital walls.
I was thinking, Will, that on a good day, it's a stressful job. People come in, you see life, you see death, you see sorrow, you see unbridled joy when someone gets well. But you don't expect a pandemic to hit. You expect those to hit, and we see them in other countries. But you don't expect it to hit on our shores, and all of a sudden, all of these medical professionals have been called to arms. They've all been deputized to say, now it's your turn to fight, and we need you to step up. And it can be a daunting task. We've seen, and it's been documented, that it's a tremendous mental strain on a lot of these folks.
Sorry, Mark, I think I just lost you.
All right, it sounds like Will might have lost us, but Will, thank you for your coverage and for your insight from the West Valley. And this has gone, I will say, a little bit faster than we thought it would. We thought it would take the better part of an hour, but remember that even flying at a lower speed so that KC-135 can keep up with them in formation, and when you're typically flying in formation, you're going a little bit slower. It has gone much faster than it expected. From El Mirage, they will be headed back to Luke Air Force Base, and we will let you know when they're heading back to their respective bases, the KC-135 back to Sky Harbor, and the fighter jet back to Luke. We want to show some of your comments that have come in today, and so many of you have been able to see it from your yards. And this is from Kylie, and she just says, wow, the Air Force flyover in Tempe, absolutely breathtaking. And thank you for sending in your photographs and your video. We're going to try to use as many of these as we can. If we don't get to them on the air today, we'll certainly try to put some of them online. Tricia Hammer's view from earlier today as it flew over her part of the valley. Let us know when you send in your pictures or your video what part of the valley you're shooting this from, so that we can kind of get an idea. But look at those planes there in the background. Nice steady shot by Tricia. If you're looking for a job, Tricia, maybe we'll get you hooked up here. And Glenda sent us this. You can really see the formation there. She says, so awesome, and she is so right. Just a tremendous day in every way possible. This is from nobody, but they're saying the flyover, hashtag distraction, flyover from Tempe again, and we just want to say thanks, because you help us tell these stories when we have events like this, and when we ask you to send in your pictures and your video, you always do a great job and you answer the call, and so we really appreciate that. So that'll do it for us. We'll have much more on today's flyover, this great show of support and thanks to our frontline medical workers as they continue to battle the coronavirus pandemic here in Arizona, and sites like this, a military thanks going on all over the country. And today it was our turn here in Arizona, and we were so happy to bring you some live coverage of that. Thanks for watching here on 12news.com and the 12 News Facebook and social media platforms. And we'll see you right back here at Tram My And Destry Jeton will be with you beginning at 4 o'clock.